I'm Attica Locke, and I'm here to talk about Pleasantville, my new novel. So, Pleasantville is a real place. It's a neighborhood in the north of Houston. I discovered it when my father was running for mayor, and when I learned the history of Pleasantville, I was fascinated. The history is that there were two Jewish developers in 1949 who decided to create what hadn't really been done before in America, a planned community for Negro families who had money. And it became this really interesting, culturally rich neighborhood that is a big part of Texas history. So Pleasantville returns to the character of Jay Porter, which is as big of a surprise to me as it may be to anyone else. I had no intention ever to do a sequel. However, Pleasantville, this book takes place around a mayoral election in the mid-90s. But my father ran for mayor of Houston in 2009, and I participated in his campaign. And I remember having a very surreal experience of, it was kind of all the same characters as Blackwater Rising. It was like I wrote this book about the political goings-on of a city, and then I was walking through that same city 30 years later, and in the election, there were the same characters, you know. There was my dad, who's kind of like Jay Porter. There was the woman he was running against, who's frankly like Cynthia Maddox. There were the crack Metro reporters, the union men vying for power, black preachers, oil men. It was all the same and very odd. And it made me, I knew I had to write about it. What I discovered when I got to see the behind the scenes of an election, that not everybody gets to see, oh, it's awful. It's really bad. And I realized how much of it's all made up. From a crime writing point of view or a novel writing point of view, it's fascinating because it's all theater. It's all theater. You're watching people play roles, and you're seeing the duplicity of what is presented to the public and then what is real. And in that dissonance is interesting stories. I think what terrifies me about politics and what I've seen up close is the realization that we think that we're engaging as citizens in choice, but so much of our choices are actually being driven by things we don't see. Jay Porter as a character started out very much a sketch of my father in Blackwater Rising, a former political activist turned criminal defense attorney. As he's grown and through Pleasantville, he seems more his own man. My affection for him is tremendous. He's almost like I don't know, my alter ego, my brother or something. I imagine that he will show up in my life again. There's a feeling about Pleasantville that this might be the middle of like a trilogy. It feels like there may be more. So before I became a novelist, I was a screenwriter for years. I was very well paid to write stuff that never got made, and I get really bored of it, and that's why I wrote books. But over the years, I've seen TV get really sophisticated and interesting and deep and rich with character, and I told my representation, I want to play. I want to do that too. And so I asked them what new shows are coming out. And I read a lot of scripts, I went on meetings, and when I read the script for Empire, I did not sleep. I, all night long, was up thinking about everything I needed to say in this meeting. It was just so important to me. I promise you guys here in the UK, when this arrives for you, block out some time. You have never seen anything like it. I promise you. The representation of a black family that has jumped class in a single generation is fascinating. The way in which we deal with soap opera turns, but also real issues about homophobia. It's just a special show that mixes great soap opera dynasty Dallas turns, but also a much deeper themes about family and race and class. And it has a great soundtrack. So you guys will love it. I can't wait to see how it goes.